YNW Melly gets bonded on 1 out of 6 of his total charges, the news reported, in case you missed it. Since the courtroom would then release the documentation showing his $500,000 bond, he has been imprisoned for 2,295 days without a bond or a guilty charge, despite the previous mistrial. Because of this, Melly's mother even gave a speech outside the courthouse on Instagram Live. In reaction to Melly's team's extraordinarily impressive bond package, YNW rappers said, quote, "That boy Melly is coming home, I feel it." While his lawyers were drafting, Melly's team proposed posting an unsecured bond that his record company, 300 Entertainment, would pay if it was accepted. The judge was promised home arrest, an ankle monitor, and round-the-clock security to keep an eye on Melly, as YNW Melly would then be spotted walking inside the courtroom. Has an excellent bond package. His mother stated right away that they had evidence that YNW Melly was not being treated humanely in a prison. It is illegal and infringes upon Melly's rights. Evidence from the first trial is then used to try to persuade the judge that YNW Melly was not a flight risk. They would provide evidence of YNW. GPS evidence demonstrates that Melly raced down the street and then hid in a bush as the alleged crime was being committed, demonstrating that he did not conduct this crime because his iPhone was in his pocket the entire time. The claims that it was a genuine drive-by were then supported by, during the first trial, it was decided that no firearm was ever found. This person probably grabbed the pistol and ran off somewhere. Consequently, the prosecutors created and filed new documents that changed the case forever. Melly's best buddy, YNW Melly, and his ex-girlfriend, Mariah Hamilton, are the main subjects. Explain now. Documents were submitted for YNW by prosecutors. Melly and Melly appeared together at the next trial. There is only one horrible reason for all of this. Needless to say, Bortland will be unable to sit there and live out his life in prison if he knows he didn't crime, since he would destroy the rest of it and be more likely to blame YNW Melly. In case you didn't know, Melly's lawyers had previously exploited him at the first trial. They tried to place the blame on YNW, land of Bortland, because Bortland wasn't there. Attorneys for YNW Melly claimed that YNW Bortland was the one who had a juvenile bag chaser, had powder residue on his hands, and had lied to the federal authorities when they tragically died. They also called in a forensic expert who dealt with the fatalities to hammer on Bortland for having that powder residue. And did not appreciate this at all. Consequently, when Nelly was handed a mistrial, a report shared YNW. Bortland tweets a mysterious comment on the day Melly's mistrial was revealed. It stated, "Mind games don't work on people like me," along with the emoji of a handshake that indicates he's accepting a deal. To exacerbate the situation, the prosecution brought in Mariah Hamilton, Melly's ex-girlfriend. When she got out of prison, she would write about my village on Facebook. "I love you all, and I am thankful for my village. Not my plan, but God's." Mariah would be offered a deal by the judge, who would say, "You can leave if you agree to testify against Melly." When they found disturbing evidence concerning Melly's refusal to testify in court in Mariah's iCloud account, it was the worst news YNW Melly could have gotten because she immediately embraced it. Her admission that it was YNW constitutes witness tampering. Melly will be given a life sentence regardless of whether he actually took Sackchaser and Juvie away. The witness tampering charge would also entail the same prison sentence because it would be separate from his present conviction involving the deaths of Sackchaser and Juvie. They take witness tampering very seriously, just like the US. The witness tampering has also prevented Melly from using a phone while incarcerated for a number of months. In one interview, Melly's mother, Jamie King, disclosed that because things had grown so bad, the county jail had refused to give him a phone. However, they have refused Melly access If it is true that he was using the jail phone to obstruct witnesses, the feds most likely have the evidence concealed until the trial begins, since it's the most terrifying part of all. If they thought Melly was doing it, they wouldn't just prohibit him from the jail phone, since that would lead to millions of dollars in lawsuits. But in court, the prosecutors also had a chance to defend themselves and provide arguments for Melly's continued incarceration. Since the prosecutor's evidence began with a text message that Melly sent admitting to the crime hours after it occurred, please let me know which side has more convincing proof. A Facebook live recording of Melly and Bortland's reaction to the murder, which occurred only 6 hours after it was committed, was also found on Melly's phone. Nothing about you seems depressed. Despite their lack of sorrow over the passing of their two best friends, a fresh and fascinating piece of information has recently come to light. According to a rogue Oblak member, YNW Melly's refusal to split the money with the other YNW members was the driving force for the crime. A few years back, YNW Melly had planned to keep something hidden, but King Vaughn went awry and revealed it, which may be some of the most important evidence against YNW Melly. However, will Melly be permitted to go, or do you believe he should be given a life sentence?